Hello and welcome to Living with the Landspeeder, where we Star Warsify Disney parks one attraction at a time. My name's Ryan. I'm joined by my good pal Katrin, other good pal Derek, and the Sith Lord, yes, and a very special guest because it is the Halloween season. Our friend from I Am Geek. He appears on I Am Geek sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes during the Halloween season, but he's come over to Living with the Landspeeder. So you could check him out over there too. It is our favorite skeleton. He's not 12 foot tall, but he wishes he was. It's Skelehost.
Hey!
Wow.
He's a
lot more energetic than last time.
Oh, yeah. It's my season, baby. Yeah.
This is when you really come to life.
He's been drinking them pumpkin spice lattes and is ready to go.
No bones about it.
Got some fresh milk in these bones. I'm ready to go.
Some calcium. All right. Good to hear, Skelehost. It's good to have you back.
Oh, thank you. Good to be here.
You messaged us over the World Wide Web.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you said, "Hey, can I come back on? I really want to do sort of a spooky episode, maybe the Tower of Terror." Is that what you suggested?
Ooh. Yeah, that sounds like something I would say. Yeah.
I know it's hard for you to type with those bony fingers, but you did a good job. We understood what you were saying.
Oh, yeah. So hard. I have to replace my laptop like every few weeks. Getting bones stuck in between the keys. Oh, man.
So tonight we are going to Star Warsify Tower of Terror, and we're going to try to make it as spooky as we can. A little background on Tower of Terror. This is the one at Hollywood Studios, and it opened July 22nd, 1994, way back when. Can you guys remember? I know Skelehost can because he was around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You guys remember when it opened?
Yeah, I was 9.
Yeah. 9. Huh. Wow. We're so old.
I was 2009.
Katrin, we were
in high school.
Yeah, just like a couple of years from graduating, right?
Yeah.
But it hasn't, the one at Hollywood Studios hasn't gone through any changes really. They've added some drops here and there, but they haven't rethemed like happened in California where they rethemed the Guardians. So tonight we're going to retheme it. It's 2023. It's getting its retheme, and it's going to be Star Wars because the whole park, the whole Disney parks is going to be Star Wars.
Yes,
because of us.
That's right. I was just talking about that tonight with some friends, and like that was like when we first came up with the idea of the show accidentally. It was like, how would we expand Galaxy's Edge? And I know one of the things I said was make all of Hollywood Studios Star Wars.
We're gonna do
Star Wars World.
And then you guys just went on with Living at the Landspeeder. And the rest is history.
Which we haven't done that many rides in Hollywood Studios, have we?
No,
not yet.
Not yet.
I'm trying to remember what I had for breakfast. So
yeah, we haven't done Rock and Roller Coaster. We haven't done Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I'm trying to think what we have done. Yeah, we did Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast happens to be the last
episode of all time.
Skelehost was on.
The best episode ever.
I guess Skelehost, whenever we do Hollywood Studios, you're gonna have to come back.
That's right.
I'm here.
Now we did do the Halcyon. We didn't really retheme it per se, but we expanded on it maybe. And then that's about it. I can't wait till we do Galaxy's Edge.
Wow, Star Wars. Speaking of Galaxy's Edge, real fast, today in Galaxy's Edge in California, they debuted 3 little fun BD droids, walk around characters that they're testing out. I don't know if they'll come back, but they're testing them out. But I thought they looked pretty cool. I was pretty impressed.
Do you think that they were already made for when they were supposed to launch and have droids going out throughout?
They debuted them at a science and technology thing a few months ago. And people thought, oh, those are cool. Like maybe they'll show up one day. And then they showed up today, which was weird.
Huh. So they were like what was canceled that they were already working on.
Oh, well, Yeah, probably something. Or they were just leftover animatronics from Splash Mountain. And they were like, what can we do with these? So we'll turn them into BD1 droids.
Used to be a rabbit.
Put some AI on them, and hopefully nothing bad will happen.
Hopefully nobody kicks them across the park.
I know. I think
just yank the fake fur right off of them and let them go.
Yep.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
what they look like underneath.
I don't think they could be really free roaming. I think they could be in a certain area where they could be surrounded
Lots
by
of
cast
handlers.
members. Yeah. But they were cool. They were like talking to them. They were responding. They were like scan for life forms, and they would turn around and lights would come on and like scan the area. And it was cool. I liked them.
Yeah,
I thought
it'll be cool.
Neat.
I think it'll be cool because they'll probably have them in like a photo spot.
Yeah.
And you can come up with your droid that you make in the droid depot, and they can interact, right? Because that's probably part of it, that they have some sort of chip in them that they can talk to each other.
That'd be cool.
And that's going to be the cool part of it. And they'll walk back out. Like they'll have to have bathroom breaks, just like every other
of course
character, right? So they'll walk back
bath.
and forth, but they'll mostly just stay in one area because there's no way, like you said, they can control that because there's so many people. And I mean, they can make a parade of them, but I can't imagine they'll just be
some kid
free roaming.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, somebody will grab them. So that's my theory.
And they'll kill people on their own if they don't have the handler.
Good. It's not Chopper, so
could be though.
You
never know.
Chopper's already been rolling around in California. Not Disney World, but anyways, okay. Tower of Terror. How did you guys? Did this one take you a little while, or did you immediately have an idea?
So for me, I've never ridden this ride.
Whoa! What?
So it was difficult. I had to watch the ride. No, I hate falls. That's my least favorite thing of any kind of ride is anything that drops.
I fall down almost every day. So
I know. I get enough of it throughout the day, so I don't want to do it on purpose. So I don't know. I've considered it. I just haven't done it.
I used to ride it, but I can't ride it anymore.
So this one took me a little bit just because I had to watch the ride and then really think about like, how can we change this? And I had one idea, jumped away from it and found something else. And it did take a while, but I was also just kind of like not in the mood for it at the time and came back to it as like, okay, let's do this, and got it.
You can say you were up and down on the ideas, huh?
I was up and down. Yes, that's right, Skelehost.
It took me a little while, but then it just sort of had
it happens.
Epiphany. It just came to me today.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there you go. That works. That'd be sort of cool. All right. So who wants to go first and tell us your spooky story of Tower of Terror StarWarsified?
I'll go first.
Ooh.
That way, if somebody wanted the same idea I had, that they'll have to pick something else.
Probably me. Let's go.
So my first ride was not going to be scary at all. So I said, no, we got to do something scary. So now,
spooky.
My new ride, technically, there's not an elevator, and probably most of the ideas that we have, we're just kind of adding elevators, right? I don't know if you're all
turbo lifts, as you found out.
Turbo lifts, yes, that's the correct term. So I don't know how they'll add it. We'll just go ahead and go with it. So the name of my ride is Exegol. Rise of the Sith.
Ooh. I like how you put rise in there because they're gonna.
I know.
Rise.
There's up and down, and it's so thinking about Rise of Skywalker. When you see Exegol there, it's very spooky. Mm-hmm. There's lightning. There's red lights. There's ghosts, Sith ghosts, and these cultists that are around. So. I took the Citadel, so that's the main area that we see is the Citadel. There is a tower there, but it's a communications tower. It's not something you go into. But this is the Citadel Tower, and as you go through the line, so that if you think about Tower of Terror, there's this queue, and you're kind of inside the halls or underneath the tower, right? The hotel. And
you get taken down to the boiler room.
Yeah, there you go. So this would be kind of going through Exegol and seeing maybe you see the clones that are in those containers that we see in Rise of Skywalker, and you see the cultists that are maybe that's in another part, but you see it looks like you're inside of Exegol, in that building or that temple like structure. From what I've read, that the Exegol Citadel is both above and below ground, so this kind of makes sense. You're going up and down, but as you go into the ride vehicle, I don't know what it would look like for this, but it's we'll call it a turbo lift, but then you're greeted by a holographic projection of like Palpatine or something, and telling you about the power of the dark side and the Sith mysteries or something like that, but then you've got you're kind of going through the Citadel, and as you go to the part where you're kind of going up and down, you of course I guess that you still see outside. We're not totally changing the building, but you're seeing different floors of the Citadel, and maybe you're seeing again the cultists that are chanting or something on one floor that opens up, or maybe there's some Sith ghosts on another. And I thought maybe Palpatine could be moving the elevator, so it's or some kind of Sith ghost is moving it with the Force, but there's just different projections and things that happen at the different levels that have to do with Sith and ghosts and Sith lords from different eras, because there's a long history, not just from that movie, but from different books and stories that have to do with the Sith, So that's my idea.
Now, will one door open and like David S. Pumpkins will be standing there and doing his little dance? David S. Pumpkins, y'all.
No, he did not appear in
a Sith robe.
No.
All right.
No,
he won't.
Oh well. Any questions? Maybe he'll be in mine. I don't know.
So that's my rough.
I like it. Very Sithy.
Yeah, it'd be a good scary idea.
It's very good in my book.
Yeah.
I know. I was kind of nervous. Like, I hope I don't take Derek's.
No, you didn't.
Good. Excellent.
You did not.
He's doing Jar Jar's Wild Ride.
Woo, scary.
Would you stop? Every time.
Really?
Every time you ruin you
gotta be kidding me. Are you serious?
No.
That'd be funny.
That would be awesome.
It would be
great.
Maybe you
Well, I
change
might
it
as well go now. I might as well
That's
go.
right. Yes, it is your turn.
Okay. All right. So this ride is called Conflict of the Force.
Oh.
And so you are you're from a planet, or this is themed like you're from a planet that did really well under the Empire, like Ariadu or something like that, which is Moff Tarkin's home planet. So you don't have a bad idea of the Empire, but you're Force sensitive, and you through your journeys throughout space and throughout the universe, you stumble on a planet and you find an ancient Jedi temple. And so you're walking through this temple and you're seeing all this really cool artifacts. And that'd be like when you're going through the hotel lobby and you're kind of getting jazzed up. Like, oh yeah, I think I'm light side. Like I definitely see that. And then as you start making your way through the temple, you go down into the lower levels. And in this temple, they stored all kinds of Sith artifacts. And then you start to feel a little different, because those are pretty cool too. All right, well, I hear the Empire's bad, but it's always been good for me. And so there's got to be some kind of, when you get into that room, there's some kind of like video and story about that. And then the ride itself is the conflict you have, whether you're going to choose the light or the dark side of the Force. And so as you're going through, every time you drop, the lights start flashing red and black. And every time you start to go back up, it goes back up nice and slow and strong. And all of the light side of the Force is going, and then you drop back down and everything just keeps flashing back and forth. And then it ends. And when you walk out, you're in a gift shop where one side of the gift shop is all dark side and the other side is all the light side. And you get to choose what side you want to be.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. I like it.
And then Jar Jar's there too.
Well,
Of course.
Of course.
He's in the middle.
No, he's a Sith.
He's Sith.
Oh yeah.
He's Sith Lord.
Right. All right, I think we'll let Skelehost go last. The big finale with Skelehost.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Does that bother you, Skelehost, to go last?
No. You know, I'm used to it always being picked last in PE class. Like
Nothing
I get hit
really
with one
gets under your
dodgeball.
skin, does it?
I just go to pieces.
Yeah, nothing gets under your skin, does it?
Not at all. Good. I don't have any.
Oh, you don't have any skin.
No skin.
Just bones. All right. Are we ready for this?
I was born ready.
Born ready?
Jar Jar's.
Yeah, Jar Jar's adventure. No. I'll start with a quote. This place looks like a shrine to that strange warrior. Ooh. That was said by
Jar Jar Binks.
Kit Fisto.
He's pretty strange.
Yeah. All right. So I think, I was thinking of a name for this ride, but you know what? I think Tower of Terror should stay because it is a tower and this is supposed to be spooky. So Tower of Terror, Grievous's castle or Grievous's lair. If you're familiar with the Clone Wars, there is an episode where Kit Fisto takes some clones and they journey to Grievous's castle or lair or whatever he calls it, sort of his hideout. And that's where we're going. So
I have to watch Clone Wars to understand this?
Yes. You have to watch Clone Wars. You don't watch Clone Wars.
Not this again.
You're not going to get it. Anyways. All right. So just like the Tower of Terror, you enter this sort of side room where they do like a pre-show. But in the pre-show area is going to be Grievous's droid, it's his repair droid that makes all the repairs on him. His EVA4D is going to be in there. He's going to welcome you and tell you that you have been recruited, or basically you've been abducted to be Grievous's personal assistants for his lair. So you've been abducted by him. You don't want to be there, which is the first terrifying thing. You've been abducted by Grievous. He's starting to tell you, what you're going to be doing for Grievous, all the horrible things you're going to have to do. And then the lights go out and the droid's like, what's going on? And the screen comes on and it's Kit Fisto. And he's telling you that they've infiltrated the castle. They're here. They're going to get you out, him and his clones, troopers. And this door opens and he goes, go to the first turbo lift that you see, get on, and we'll get you out of here. All right. So that gets you to the turbo lift or elevator, or whatever you want to call it. So you get there, you get in, you go up. It's been a while since I wrote it. Cajun probably has it as fresher in his mind than any of us.
Yeah.
You watch videos.
Watch the video.
You get to it. The door opens and you see this scene of Kit Fisto and the clones battling the Magna Guards that Grievous has. He has like the IG 100 Magna Guard. So there's a big battle going on. So it's really cool. You're seeing all this happen in front of you. Door closes, goes up, opens up, and this is where you start going forward. And you're like, what's going on? What's going on? You start to hear like something like an animal going around, and Grievous has this pet that he has. It's a rogwort, and you hear its sort of noises and stuff. And then,
and the wart does he have?
Rogwort. Yeah.
Go to Walgreens. I'll take it.
And then on the top, so as you're moving and it's like freaking out, and you start hearing Grievous like sort of his coughing and his his breathing and stuff. And then from the top of the thing you're in, the rogwort like comes like flying down at you, like it's trying to get in your turbo lift. About that time is when you hit the thing. Rogwort goes away, and now you're on the ascent up. So you're ascending up. And the lights keep flashing. And as the lights flash, you see Grievous in his like crab walk state just crawling across the walls in front of you. So he's like just crawling all over the place with the coughing, breathing, and then it gets to the top and it opens up, and he just lets out this, grievous laugh, and says one of his, funny, well, terrifying lines, and then you drop and you lift and drop until you get to the bottom. We're greeted by Get Fist on a screen saying, we'll get you out of here, and you go into the gift shop where you can buy small rock forts to take home with you.
Nice.
Where you can get specially made kyber
crystals and lightsabers
from the I Am Geek Etsy shop.
So that's my terrifying tale. I don't know what
I like the Grievous crawling around. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, I was like, what's more terrifying than that? Just like in this crab walk crawling all over the place.
So at first I thought you were describing a change to Alien Encounters or the Stitches Escape.
That one doesn't move.
Do that one.
It does not move, but it reminded me of it. But
yeah, when you're going up that thing, like when it's going up the lift, if you saw Grievous like crawling around in front of you as the lights are going on, that'd be freaky.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be freaky. And then maybe at the top, maybe he's at the top and his light. Oh, I just made it better. You get to the top and he's there, and he ignites his lightsaber and cuts the turbo lift, and that's when
there you go.
Ooh,
yeah,
there you go.
There we go. Yes.
And he says one of his iconic lines.
Yes.
General
Kenobi.
Kenobi. Oh wait, what?
All right, Skelehost, bring us home.
Okay, here we go. So my Tower of Terror will be called Fortress of Vader.
Nice.
Ooh, this was very similar to my backup.
So the whole tower will be shaped as the Fortress of Vader, Vader's castle on the outside. Yeah. Ooh. So you go into the ride, you go into the room, and everything goes dark, and you hear a voice say, "You unlock the door with the key of fear. Beyond it is hate, and hate leads to suffering. This is a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind, a dimension of the dark side. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Fortress of Vader. Mustafa, amid the rock and smoke, a bustling lava mine, the fortress was a force on its own right, a beacon for the Empire elite. Now, something is about to happen that will change you forever." Ooh. And then the door opens, and you find yourself in the bowels of the fortress, leading you through forgotten mining equipment until you come to a droid that helps you onto a lava skiff. The skiff takes you through the fortress as shimmering force ghosts play out scenes from the past. Anakin losing his mother and taking out Tusken Raiders. Jedi Council denying Anakin the rank of Master. Anakin taking out Dooku on Palpatine's orders. Mace Windu's death. The choking of Padme. Approaching younglings. Ooh, what's going to happen there? And then,
a great movie, The Choking of Padme.
Then your skiff takes you outside into the dark with the glow of the lava beneath you as you ride the lava waves down and up and over. Then you see a battle taking place between Anakin and Obi-Wan, raging all around you as you float down the lava. It culminates as you come to a stop and see Anakin on another skiff and Obi-Wan on a hill. You hear, "It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! Don't try it!" Then everything goes dark. You see a slash of a lightsaber and hear Anakin cry out. Then the doors open and you drop. Ooh. There you have it. And I'm sure there's like a shop at the bottom.
I didn't realize you had different voices.
Oh, your voice acting was superb.
Wow.
Other spirits that embodied you.
Wow. Yeah.
I
thought... they just take me over like, oh, hello, how are you doing there? Bah! Just like that.
I felt I entered the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, no bones about it. That was fantastic. You know, I had a similar backup idea, but instead of like just dropping, it would be Vader like choking you and throwing you up and down. Yeah. Or like somebody with the Force, like you have to escape them and they're throwing you up and down.
I had a backup too. I had a backup where it was like that sort of, but it was Obi-Wan's nightmare, and it ends with Anakin gaining the high ground and dropping Obi-Wan. So, and then he wakes up at the end.
I mean, the choking of Padme.
Jar Jar, stay out.
They can have a whole different park with the choking of Padme.
No.
The choking of Padme.
Anyways.
That's a Netflix series.
Wow.
True life story documentary.
Yes, a documentary. Yes. Again, 4 different rides, right? Nothing is the same.
My original one though had Grievous in it, so it had to do with the search for Grievous in that planet where Obi-Wan is riding the Varactyl or whatever it's called, and so the idea was going to be that you're following him as he goes to the different levels, trying to find Grievous, or it could have been like if with the battle, how they're kind of jumping around to different levels, and you know, maybe it starts off he jumps in and hello there, and then you drop or something like that.
This ride was Jar Jar's day off. Ferris Bueller's day off. But just Jar Jar just going around the parades and museums. Just fun stuff.
Baseball games.
And this was an interesting one to do because there's not a lot to the ride.
Yeah.
Like they have a story, they have the queue, and then they have like the pre-show, but like the ride itself, there's not a lot to it, but it's still one of the probably one of the biggest fan favorites because of the theming of everything and like how that story is embodied in the ride. And it's almost like you build a lot of it yourself too. So that was kind of like my thought with how I approached it. But yeah, I don't know. What do you get? Like, what was your thought process on this?
I was like, what am I going to do with this? And
that is a good thought process.
No, I was like, because like you said, it's like, because you wanted it to stay spooky.
Yes.
And you wanted it, I mean, it's a drop ride. So it's like, what are you going to do?
Well, I didn't know if anybody would go the route of how they did it in California, where it's like they didn't want it to be scary. They wanted it to be more of like the laughing, like up and down. So they changed the mechanics of how it worked. Yeah. So it was more of like those.
Have you been on that one?
Bubbles. Yeah.
Yeah. That one made me sick. Like, so sick. I don't think I could ride it anymore. Because I rode both, and I prefer the Hollywood Studio one.
Yeah, I do too.
I like that theming better for it. It's just it's a classic, I think, because just it's so spooky, and it's the way it came about is a cool story, and it wasn't supposed to be.
No, they were working with Mel Brooks.
Yeah, they were working with Mel Brooks. It was going to be an actual hotel that had a ride attached to it, and so it's I like the theming, so I wanted to keep it spooky, and then the Grievous thing, I forget how I thought of that, but I was like, oh wait, Grievous has like this castle lair thing, and then I remembered that episode of Clone Wars where they're basically going through it with all the traps and everything, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Could get Kit Fisto in there too, and so that's how it sort of came together. But yeah, I liked it. I liked all of our ideas.
So I just thought, what's really high in Star Wars? And I was like,
the high ground.
The high ground.
What about you, Katrin? Like, what was your approach to this one because again, there's not a lot to it.
There's not a lot, and so I googled what towers are there in Star Wars, and tried to find something that had a tower, and it was like Jedi Temple, and I thought about, maybe it is like the history of Jedis or something like that. Then I thought, okay, I want to do something scary, and then I thought of my favorite Star Wars movie. Rise of Sky. No, I'm just kidding. I thought of Rise of Skywalker.
All right, folks. Well, this
Good night, everybody.
The Landspeeder.
I kid. But I thought about how scary that part of that movie was, and I rewatched it, and I was like, it's terrifying because there's lightning, there's darkness, there's just evil, and you see these clones where they were trying to make these replacements basically for Vader and somebody to take over, and they made Snoke from all that, and it just was really evil looking with all of the just the darkness, I guess. And I said this would be a great idea. There's lightning, so there's thinking about the ride that's there now. There's you think about storms or just lightning and darkness and all that. So I felt like that was a good fit. And the hard part was thinking about, okay, how am I going to fit an elevator in whatever I picked? And my initial thought was to do that scene in I guess it was Revenge of the Sith, right? With that Varactyl and all that. Not because I was trying to think of something that's up and down, but I was like, I want something scary. So that's again where I landed on that. And
you could also do it where it'd be fun to have like where Mace Windu gets thrown out of the window because you're at the top.
That's true too. Yeah.
And then every time it goes up, it's because he hits like a speeder.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the ride, you realize he's really beat up, but he's still alive. And then they open up into a whole new movie.
But that's kind of a good point. So, like on Coruscant, you have the opportunity for these drops because of just what you're talking about, and thinking about Anakin and Obi-Wan jumping out into the speeders that are flying or whatever, and you could imagine something like that in that scenery as well, and maybe that's more of the fun one, right? It's a chase for somebody, and you're just kind of dropping to these different levels.
Now I want to see the ghost of Samuel L. Jackson beckoning you.
Ghost? He's not dead. He just
dropped.
Fell. I also thought about doing the Night Sisters. I thought about doing that.
Yeah,
cool too. Yeah. We should actually brainstorm an attraction on the show, like not come up with any ideas.
That's a good idea.
Time.
Should do a live show and do it on a live show.
That would be fun.
So we could have actually done. I didn't think about this. That you just mentioned the Night Sisters. Maybe think about the tower that's on that.
Yeah, that's what I thought about at first.
That series there that you could go up and down, and you got the zombie troopers. Maybe you're seeing.
And what if they did like where the tower could technically change, where it's more of an ambiguous tower, but instead of opening up into Hollywood Studios, there's screens there. I mean, that's what they did for in California, and where they could change it. Now that would be. I mean, we've done several different.
Ship, like shooting down at you, and it crumbles everything, and that's when you fall.
Yeah,
there we go.
That'd be awesome. And then the next time you ride it, it could be something different,
like Star Tours.
Like
the idea you had with teacups.
Yeah, we had like a screen inside a teacup.
Oh yeah.
Yours, right? Yeah.
I can't remember.
I liked that episode. I was moving, so I was driving the moving truck. Listened to that episode. I was like, I loved it. It's great. I wish I was on this show. Oh wait,
and that was a short episode too. And then this one, it looks like it's going to be a short episode. So you should love this one too.
I do.
Yeah,
because I want to go to bed.
Love it.
I want to go watch Loki. So there we go.
I haven't started.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Skelehost, do you before we leave, do you have any Halloween plans?
Oh, the usual. Just hanging out on porches, pretending to be like just ornament of some sort, and then people walk up, and you're just.
And then last thing, how do you really feel? We're gonna get really, really down here. How do you really feel about the 12-foot skeletons?
Show offs.
They're compensating, right?
Yeah. Look at me, I'm 12 feet. Ooh, you can see me from blocks away. Ooh. Yeah, well, you don't see me coming.
No, that's true.
Yikes.
Yikes.
And on that
Indeed.
note, Skelehost, thank you for joining us for this special spooky episode.
Oh, good to be here. Good to be here.
Living with the Landspeeder. Woo.
Hey, Skelehost, do you know who won the skeleton beauty contest? Nobody.
Oh, it's a pun. Who?
Nobody.
Wow.
I don't get it.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll have to have you back. I don't know, maybe for a Christmas episode. Who knows? We'll see. There's like what?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
Yes.
So there we go. There's not a Nightmare Before Christmas ride that we can do,
But there is a stage show, kind of ish.
there is.
Not so scary.
Oh well, yeah, that's true.
Back
All
to
right. Until next time, make sure you check out I'm Geek Shop on Etsy for all your Kyber Crystal needs. And I'm Geek, wherever you listen to podcasts, will be live again next week with probably something Halloweeny for Hallow Geek. Ooh. And then we'll be back here the next week with more Living with the Landspeeder. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh.